Hold on, everybody. We're trying to do some high tech stuff over here. Hang on. Did you hit the live? Hey, Mother Brenda. We're trying to do some high tech stuff here. Bear with us for a second, guys. Hey, Miss Ann. How you doing? Hope your day's going well. We came on a little early because we're trying to do some. Hey, Sean. Came on a little early because we're trying to get things set up, and unfortunately, um, we don't know how to do it any other way. So bear with us a second here. Still got about 7 minutes before we're on. Be seeing it right now. All right, all right, all right. Well, we high tech now, y'all. First the rocket into outer space, then us um, doing this broadcast. I got you sideways though. Can you turn it? There you go. Right side up. So we got a few minutes. Well, that light shining bright in that mirror. Who's that, Kyle over there? Can we do a mic check? Can you hear me?
Hey, Kai, grab this right here. Can you just grab the whole bottom because it's not secure? No, just move it. So that minute, you have to grab the whole, grab that bottom piece. Thank you.
Miss Ann said things are going well. She can hear us. There we go. We still got about 5 minutes. So who else we got on? We have Sean. We have Mother Brenda. We got Miss Ann. Where's Miss Karen?
Thank you, Kai.
So say something, Shar. See if we can hear you.
Hello?
Okay. Yeah, it don't seem like your lips are moving though. How'd you do that? Oh, Miss Karen's cooking. She got a new cooktop. That sounds like Shar over here. Sean said it sounds good. So we got a little time. Sean, how you been doing, man? I know it's been a while. And said loud and clear. Oh, we got the brothers on. We got the brothers on, Alex and Sean. You know, Alex, my son's been riding around with that shirt. He's having a hard time getting a hold of you. But let's see here. I'm gonna try something over here. Let's see. One day we're gonna be technology kings and queens. But until then, this is what it's like. So we got I guess I'm seeing the comments. I was just hoping to see them on my if you made it back, Alex, safely. So it's 6:57. We got about 3 more minutes. We were really nervous about this split screen. So, I got up at 4 o'clock this morning and started playing around with it. I said, well, at 4, if I get on, nobody will see that I'm on there trying to see if the live works. So I got on there at 4, tried it, and then deleted it. So we know we can do it. It's just this is the first time actually doing it live in front of people. So, but this is going to be a very helpful function because we can actually do different things if we can get more than one person on the screen. So this is going to be fun for me. I don't know how Shar feels about this, but it's going to be fun for me. And Shar is the one that's the people person, and she never gets on camera unless it's a selfie.
I'm not a camera
Say
person,
something, Shar.
really. Otherwise, I would have been doing it. I'm saying
Oh.
something right now. Do you hear me?
Oh God,
Do you hear me?
where's your mama at? She needs to hear you. Did you hear that? Oh my goodness. She does. She does look beautiful.
What did Kai say? Did Kai say something?
Nah, I don't
Is there
think
a
Kai said
delay?
anything. I'm still tripping on the fact that you said you're not a camera person. Huh. Lying in front of
No,
the people.
I don't.
Just lying. So
No. Have you seen any live
six
cupcake
fifty
ASMR
nine.
videos? Nope.
Well, all I can say is that we're gonna get started. 6:59. I want to welcome you guys to Facebook Live episode 25. Boy, 25 weeks. Shar's been there for every single week. I missed one. Shar's been there for every single week, 25 weeks. That's exactly what, half a year in, huh? No, next week will be exactly half a year. So today's topic is interview with a successful entrepreneur. And if you haven't guessed it, we're going to interview Sharndale Carr. Sharndale Carr. That's my interview voice. So when I interview, I have a different voice. So, hey, Karen, I thought you got off that cooktop. I thought we weren't going to see you. You got that new cooktop. I was like, oh, we ain't going to see Karen. She's going to try that thing out. But definitely, 7 o'clock, we're going to get started so we can get into these questions. Today's topic is an interview with a successful entrepreneur. We're actually going to do this at least 2 weeks in a row. We have another one next week. So this is exciting 2 weeks for me. She said yes. Miss Karen said yes. But definitely excited about this one. This is episode 25. I want to just make sure that I do the housekeeping things. I'm Curtis Carr. I'm the founder of E.L.E.V.A.T.E. My wife, Shondell, who's on the bottom of the screen there, is partnered up with me with the E.L.E.V.A.T.E. And I have over 30 years experience, 15 in the training capacity. Shar has over 10 years experience in the project management and business analyst category. She also runs her own business. She's been doing that for 8 years. And that's one of the reasons my parents are here. Hello, Dad, Mom. So we're going to do an interview with Shar because we want to hear what an entrepreneur has to say. I wanted to shout out the new year. Just say, hey, this is 2022. Very excited about this year. I already got my goals posted. I hope you do too. One day we might just do one of these sessions about setting goals and how important setting goals are. But Shar knows I got a board over here to the right, my right, and it basically is a bunch of goals. I know Shar set goals. Hey, Tamika's there. Aunt Stephanie's there. All right, everybody's pouring in. And you're just in time for the jokes. The jokes. And we got Shar on camera so we can sit there and see reaction in real time. So the jokes. So first joke, guys. First joke. First joke. First joke. What did the game say to the game system? My dad said you're the world's best partner. I have to agree. Oh, Stephanie said, oh no. What did the game say to the game system? Kai, Shar, what did the game say to the game system? Please console me. You get it? Console, please console me. So I get one eyebrow, that's it. I get a shrug of the shoulders from Kai. Number two, what was the soldier in the bathroom? Oh, why was the soldier in the bathroom? Why was the soldier in the bathroom? Okay, Alec. This Ann groaned. Why was the soldier in the bathroom? You better talk to your grandmama, boy. Your grandma said hi.
Hi, Granny.
Why was the soldier in the bathroom? Because he felt the call of duty. You know, that was a good one. He felt the call of duty. All right, all right, all right. And the third one, y'all. The third one. What do you get from a dwarf cow? What do you get? I'm not letting you see the answer. Kyle's over here shaking his head in amazement about how funny these jokes are. What do you get from a dwarf cow? Stephanie liked that one. You get condensed milk from a dwarf cow. Kai didn't leave the building. He just came downstairs to tell me my jokes suck. That's all he did. Went from one room to the other. So you get from a dwarf cow, you get condensed milk. All right. So, all right, the jokes are done. I know everybody's day is brightened. Everybody feels good. Hey, Tamika laughed about that one, so that's great. That's great. And so we'll go on because it's 7:05. I want to make sure we give our successful entrepreneur time to answer these questions. I got like 50 questions for her, but I know we're not gonna be able to get to them all. But definitely want to keep pushing the 99 group coaching. Only $3.25 a day. You can't beat that. What we'll do is we'll have 10 to 15 people on a call, like on Zoom, and we'll already have gotten the assessments and the questionnaires filled out, and we'll establish some goals and see what you're trying to do this year. And then week to week, we'll follow up with you, and it'll be in a group setting. And it's very efficient, it's very effective. You get a chance to see what other people are going through. You get a chance to hear what they're going through, and we'll go in order of the people that get on the call. So it's we were a part of something like this, and it was awesome. You agree, Shar? It was awesome. You got to sit back and you get to see what was going on. So this is what we're going to do too. It's awesome, and we can do it at a great affordable price. If you're somebody that wants to speed things up, we have other offerings online. If you go to wemustelevate.com, wemustelevate.com. Stephanie said condensed milk. I will think of that every time I make my cherry cheesecake or cherry cheese pie. So condensed milk. Sean liked that one. I'm glad I got some support around here. Sean, Zachary liked that one. So the way we conduct our Facebook Lives, we depend on your comments. Please continue to comment. Please like and share. We're on week 25, going strong. For us, everything's recorded. Somebody can always come back to this website. I always envision my boys coming back to this and checking some of these out too. Got 3 sons, so hopefully they'll take advantage of this. It's another resource. So it takes another excuse away when somebody says I don't know something. Well, there was another way to get it. So, but we end promptly at 7:30, and we definitely encourage you to like and share. And I want to know if you guys are excited. If you can put a 0 for excited, if you're excited to see the Mrs. Sharndale Carr here to do an interview, if you're excited like I am, please put a 0 down. I wish I could put a 0 down, but I can ring the bell. I can ring the bell. Oh, Shay is on. Shay is on. Uh-oh. Oh, look at Tamika put like 6,000 zeros. The pressure's on, and put like 6,000 to 7,000 zeros. Can you handle the pressure, Sean? Can you handle the pressure? Everybody's putting zeros down. So I wanted to read what we have on the website on wemustelevate.com for Shar. She wrote this and she put it in the first person. I think it sounds great to explain what she does for Elevate and what she does in the working world also. I'm going to read that real quick. She says, I provide effective business strategies to help small business owners like myself who are ready to take their businesses to the next level by guiding them through implementation to operation business life cycles. As an IT business analyst and project manager by corporate experience and a food truck and bakery owner by entrepreneur experience, I know how to create business roadmaps to help build robust processes and procedures that will increase product sales and business awareness. I have gone through the fire and I have learned some of the most challenging do's and don'ts as a small business owner, and I want to share them with you. Click on the free session button for a phone consultation so that you can begin your next journey and turn your dreams into actionable goals. If you would like to check out my portfolio as a business owner, go to cupcakeandasmile.com. It's a beautiful website. I think anybody that sees it gets hungry just looking at it. Cupcakeandasmile.com. Beautiful website. I told hers that hers looked better than mine, but she say it's ours. Yeah, hers look really, really good. Really, really good. So that's Sharndale Carr, and I'm gonna give her a hand clap. I know on Teams they have these little hand claps. I don't know what they have here on Facebook, but I'm gonna give her a hand clap. And are you ready, Shar?
Yep, I'm ready.
I can't hear you, Shar. You ready? Okay. So one of the things we want to do is we really want to get some insight, because it's one thing to get on here and talk about concepts, but it's really good to hear 0 to the 10th power, Shar. It's really good to hear somebody that is actually doing it, because I remember we talked about it's 3 types of coaches out there, and the highest level is a doer, and we got one on the line. So let's go through it. I want Shar, if you can tell me how you became an entrepreneur. If you can just give us the short story, how you became an entrepreneur.
Yeah, so you're already telling me to keep it short, huh?
Oh, did I say that?
So I will start off by saying that I believe that entrepreneurship is in my DNA. My grandfather was a business owner. My uncles were both business owners at some point in their career. And my mom, she was also a business owner. She actually taught aerobics when I was a little girl. So I know what it's like to have to hustle. She would drag me with her to her aerobics courses when I today does Mary Kay, and and she also still teaches Zumba. So I think it's just part of who I am. Like I said, I think it's just in my DNA. And since since I was a little girl, I also always tried new things. I also always had a discovery mindset where I would try different things and be creative when I could. So I just believe it's just who I am.
Okay. What do you love most about being an entrepreneur?
So what I love the most is, well, I won't say what I love the most. If I could answer why I do it, and then I can tell you why I love it. I do it for my
Okay.
kids. So my boys are my why. This is why I have late nights, early mornings, no days off. I work a corporate job and I have a business. It's because they're my why. I want for them to clearly understand that they can do whatever they want to do as long as they put the effort forward to make it happen. So if they really want something, they can go after, they can have whatever they want, and I have to be their example, right? And so that's what I love about being an entrepreneur, is to give my kids an opportunity to see that they can have whatever they want, whenever they want it, as long as they work hard for it. Like, the sky is the limit. And so if they want something, regardless of what it is, just work hard for it and you can have it. And having them by my side to watch me work hard and to accomplish my dream is what makes me love being an entrepreneur the most, is because of my why.
Okay. Gotcha. And by the way, Miss Karen said best red velvet cupcakes ever. Exclamation point, exclamation point. All right.
Thank
I've
you,
seen more
Karen.
cupcakes in the 2 years we've been together. My. I never even knew. I didn't even think about cupcakes before, but now. Anyway, your mom said I love that. I would like you to tell us, and this is the kind of stuff I love to hear. Tell us one or two beliefs that you had at the beginning that turned out to be false as you continued your journey as an entrepreneur. I call them guiding fictions. One or two
Yeah,
things.
so the first thing I would say is I believed initially that everyone was my customer, right? And I had to learn the hard way that everyone is not my customer. Everyone's not going to like my product. Um, my product is not going to appease everyone. I can't make everyone happy. So I had to learn quickly how to identify who my audience was. And then once I identified my audience, then I was able to be more successful and I had less heartbreak because I knew exactly who it was that I needed to cater to as far as marketing to and providing a product for. And so once I understood who my audience was, then I was able to identify what their problem was, right? So it wasn't everybody that has all these different problems related to desserts in my case. So once I identified who my customers were, then I could identify what the problem was that I needed to solve for. And so for me, for Cupcake and a Smile, the problem that I had to solve for was providing desserts for people who either knew how to bake or but didn't want to bake or didn't know how to bake but wanted a quality dessert without having to go to the supermarket to purchase it. So once I found out that was my audience, I catered to their problem, and that's what helped me to be successful with my marketing and providing a service to people who needed it the most. So that's one. I think another thing that
Hi, Aunt Linda.
turned out to be false. This is just for me. Some people may agree, may disagree, but I believe that when I used my own cash, that was a big mistake for me. Because when I used my own cash, I didn't have cash until infinity, right? So my cash ran out and I still had to get credit and I had to get find other ways to get money where it wasn't in the bank. So for me, some people, like I said, some people may disagree, but for me, one of the things that I will never ever do again in business is use all my cash.
I got you. I got you. So give us two or three of your most challenging situations you faced in your business. And it doesn't have to be early on. Just it could be at
Um,
any point where you said, "Man, this is a heck of a challenge."
the pandemic, of course. I'm speaking recent, like today, one of the greatest challenges for me as a small business was making it through the pandemic because it forced me to, well, it was hard, but then it was also rewarding, right? Because it pushed me to have to think of ways to keep my business going. So I had to think of a contingency plan, like what can I do? Because I'm not downtown anymore. I can't operate from my shop because no one's at work. So what is it that I can do so that way I can still make money? And so I had to really put my food truck into high gear and look for opportunities to do drive-by birthday parties or make deliveries, hands free, just trying to figure out what to do to make it work so that way I wouldn't go out of business. And it really did help. Although it was a horrible situation, it turned out to be a blessing for me because it pushed me to think outside of the box. And the contingency plan that I put into play, I still use to this day. Even though we're still in the pandemic, we're not as deep into it as we were in 2020 and 2021. So going into 2022, I'm still able to use some of those strategies that I implemented when I first encountered the difficulties of trying to survive the pandemic.
Okay. Okay. And didn't you tell me you've seen a lot of businesses in your building go bankrupt, close down?
Right. Yes, it's so sad because so many companies they didn't survive the pandemic, and so they closed their doors. And I thought about closing my doors several times, but here's the deal: when you have a dream, and for me, I feel like I know my dream was planted in my heart by Christ, so there is no giving up. You know what I mean? There's no giving up for me. So if that means I have to suffer a little bit, I'll suffer a little bit because I know that what God has given me as a dream, He's not going to allow it to fail. He's going to give me all that I need to be successful. I just have to keep pushing. And so that's what I did. I just kept pushing. I looked for ways to overcome the obstacles because my dream can't die, and again, I'll go back to my why. I always go back to my why. Why am I doing this? Why am I working so hard? Why am I pushing myself so much? Why am I getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning and still have to go work a full-time job and be able to perform and then take care of my family and cook dinner and do homework? I mean, it's a lot. But when you have a dream and you know where your dream has come from, you can't give up on it. So I'll never give up. I'll never let it die. People have asked me, how long are you going to do this for? When are you going to stop? I'm not. I'm never stopping. Now, I may do something different that is in relation to what I do today with Cupcake and a Smile, but Cupcake and a Smile will never, ever die. I have a book, so it won't die. I talk about it in my book. I'm putting together a course, so it's going to live on forever. So whomever comes along, especially as far as my family, they will always be able to reference something that I've done that hopefully they can learn from and glean from and give them hope to do something similar for themselves.
Okay. And you mentioned it a little bit. I don't know if everybody caught it, but there you do have a book on Amazon that talks about entrepreneur. Can you give the title of that book?
Yeah. So I have a book. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it at Barnes and Noble. You can get it. Where else can you get it? I think one other place. I'll post it later, but it's Entrepreneurship, My Story, Your Guide. And it's actually a collaborative effort. So there's about 6 or 7 other entrepreneurs that wrote the book. So we all came together and we all have a chapter in the book. And so in the book, we're able to talk about, our story, our entrepreneur story, how we started, what we do, why we do it, and such. So yes, there is a book out there.
And can you share a little bit about the site you're building or the food truck? You're teaching how to build a food truck or how to operate a food truck. I'm not sure what you're titling it. Can you kind of go over that a little bit?
Can you repeat the question? I locked up a little bit for a minute.
Oh, okay. No, I was saying, can you share with the audience? I know you're building a course right now on how to be successful running a food truck. Can you just kind of give some highlights to that?
Sure. So I'm currently writing a course, online course actually, on how to successfully run a food truck business. And what this course is for food truckers that have already launched their business, but they're not operating as a business. So they have their idea, they have their food truck, and they're great cooks. And so they're just focused on cooking, right? And making sure that they have a good product to sell, but they're missing the big picture in reference to customer service, knowing their numbers, knowing how to make sure that they have enough inventory and not too much inventory, knowing how to look for the right employee to match their own goals, and putting together processes and procedures in place for their employees to follow to make sure that the same messages are being communicated every time, to make sure that everybody is doing the exact same thing as expected for their businesses to be successful. So that's just a little bit in a nutshell. There's 5 modules, and each module has lessons and homework assignments. So I should be launching that before the end of this month.
Okay. So if anybody knows you, you know that it's going to be comprehensive. Uh, we know it's going to be comprehensive. Miss Ann said your dedication shows in your boys, which is true. Karen said several times, good for you. And, everybody that knows you and knows your passion. So one other thing I wanted to do is if you can give us like 3 to 4 highlights in the 8 years you've been doing this with Cupcake and a Smile. Give us 3 or 4 highlights where you look back and said, man, that was a high point.
Oh, so one of the greatest accomplishments I think was for me was getting started. That may not seem like a lot, but once you put yourself out there and you get started, there's no turning back, right? And then what's even more exciting is when you have customers who like your product and they're asking you, over and over again, where are you located? See, because when I first started, I was selling cupcakes from my car. I would just make them and I would make deliveries, right? And then I was like, I need to get a food truck. And so I got a food truck, and I started operating a food truck on the weekends. My mom would come down, she would help me, Shay would help me, and we would just get together and we would make these cupcakes. We would go there wherever we could. It didn't matter how many people, where it was. We just wanted to get out there to make a name for ourselves, right? And then people started asking me, well, where are you located? Where can we find you during the week? Well, I wasn't located anywhere, right? I just had a food truck and I was only serving people on the weekends. And so finally I was like, oh, why didn't you give me a brick and mortar, which is a huge, huge, huge commitment. But I did it. I was like, okay, people want to know where I'm located. That means they're going to come. And so I got a brick and mortar. And another thing I would tell entrepreneurs is listen to your customers. They will tell you when it's time to grow your business, right? Because if no one is talking about it, then maybe it's not time. But once people start asking you, where are you located, when can they get more of your product, how can they find you, if you're not online, because for me, I'm mobile, and I have a brick and mortar here locally in town, but you want to satisfy that need. So that's a huge highlight. And then I got one location, and then I got another location. So those are highlights for me, is the growth. It helps me to realize that what I'm doing, for one, makes sense, and for two, that people love my product and they're continuing to buy it. And I will also say to entrepreneurs, don't be surprised if your customers are not people whom you know, right? It may not be your family, it may not be your friends, because I thought, oh, well, I'm selling cupcakes and I'm selling cakes. Everybody has a birthday. All of my friends have birthdays. All of my friends have family with birthdays. But no, everybody didn't buy from me just because they had a birthday and wanted a birthday cake or a dessert. So you will find that most of your customers are people who you don't know. So that's something that I just wanted to throw in there as extra. Just don't get discouraged, because your customers will be strangers in most cases.
Okay. So what would Shar, 8 years into Cupcake and a Smile, tell Shar just starting?
Something I've said already, I will repeat it. Keep your cash. Keep your cash. Because see, life happens. And for me, I'll be a little bit transparent. When I started my business, I was in my first marriage. And shortly after I started my business, I got divorced. Well, I didn't have any cash. I didn't have no cash. So it was hard for me to maintain because I had left corporate America. I was only doing my cupcake business. And so when you have a brick and mortar and you have employees, it's like having two houses and two sets of kids that you have to provide for. And it could be very, very challenging. And so if you don't have any cash that you can quickly access, it could be, you know, it it can really be a situation that can be challenging to overcome. And so, however, if I would have had cash, it would have been a little bit of a different experience for me. Now, I'm just speaking for me. I know again, people may not disagree with that, but that's something I'm going to stick to. I would have told myself, keep your money, keep your money, and you can do, business loans. Well, it's hard for me to get a business loan. That's a whole nother topic, but, personal loans, you can do that. But that's what I would encourage anybody to do, especially given that life happens. And one thing you need to have is cash to fall back on.
Gotcha. Well, we really appreciate you coming on, Shar, and sharing your wisdom, being transparent and telling us what you went through. And I know this is just a snippet. We could have did this for 2 hours. This could have really went in depth, but Mother Brenda proud. That's my baby. That's my baby. You proud up there. So really appreciate you coming on, and we could definitely do a part 2, part 3 on this. We wanted to definitely change it up because people need to see and hear and be exposed. It was some other questions I only wrote down a few because I was like, we're not going to have time, but there was a lot of questions I could have asked you. I wanted to know some things about employees and you hiring and stuff like that. We're going to have to do that on another time. But I also wanted to share that next week we're going to do another interview with another entrepreneur, and this is for me. This is like Christmas 2 weeks in a row. Have my wife on week 1, and have one of my mentors, R.D. Martin. He's going to be on next week. He's a very successful guy out in Arizona. I'm not going to tell you a lot about it. I'm going to do it in the introduction. Everybody, you're amazing. You see Shay? Antoinette. Aunt Stephanie said she enjoyed the interview. I wanted to make sure that I go over the next 5 weeks of the Facebook Live. Like I said, next week we're going to have an interview with another entrepreneur, RD. RD's been a millionaire since he was in his 20s. Very, very mature for his age. He's nothing but probably about 5-6 years older than me. Runs a successful franchise in Phoenix. Yeah, I know you guys know of Sonic. He built the Sonics out in San Antonio. When you go out there and you see 50 plus Sonics, he was the one responsible for building those Sonics up, and he was in his 20s when he did it. But he's going to interview next week. One thing I want to do is the next 5 Facebook Lives. The next one is the second interview. The second week is This Generation Part 1. The third week is one called Vision Driven. The fourth week, which is my favorite right now, Work, It Is Our Savior. Work, It Is Our Savior. And the week 5 is Capacity, How to Increase It. How do you increase capacity? So that is our next 5 weeks. I really appreciate you guys coming on. It's always fun to hear the story of Shar's story. She left so much stuff out. She needs to write a book with just her situation in it and write about the details, what she went through, because it's going to be a full book and it's going to be very interesting. So our tagline. We appreciate everybody. Please like and share. Please like and share. And put some comments down. Tell my wife how great she did. Come on, y'all. Tell her how great she did. And be intentional. Focus on growth and elevate now. Thank you guys for coming on. Fastest 30 minutes in social media. Promise you. Fastest 30 minutes. Good night.